new records in my collection. It's Rob here with another video, and thanks for joining me. Got a few things to show from Record Store Day, record fairs, car boot sales, some cassettes, 7-inch singles, so we better get cracking. So Record Store Day was a couple of weeks ago. I watched quite a few videos on YouTube, and I went to my local shop, Wax and Beans in Bury. Got there about lunchtime. People had been queuing from Friday evening. When Ben opened his doors, I think there was a couple of hundred people in the queue, but do a really good job at Wax and Beans. So I got there at lunchtime and I got what I wanted. There wasn't that much on the list that I really wanted. So I'll show you what I picked up from Record Store Day. So I picked up this Echo and the Bunnymen B-sides and live tracks from 2001 to 2005. Contains quite a few singles, instrumental versions of Rescue, A Promise, cover of the Beatles, Ticket to Ride, Nothing Lasts Forever, Killing Moon, Lips Like Sugar, recorded live at the Reading Festival in 2005. So I think it was 28 quid this. And it comes on 2 discs. There's Will Sargent and Ian McCulloch, and it comes on clear vinyl. And if you're like me and you're an Echo and the Bunnymen fan, then it was a little bit of a no-brainer. But yeah, really pleased to pick up that Echo and the Bunnymen album. And the only other album that I was really interested in was Electronic, the remixes from 89 to 92. Just contains 6 tracks, Getting Away With It, Get the Message, Gangster, Feel Every Beat, Idiot Country 2 and Disappointed. So this just comes on black vinyl. There's a label. And my cat has decided that she wants to go out, so just give me a minute. What? Oh, sorry about that. Now, something else I was after was the Noel Gallagher 7-inch single. Only 6,300 copies of these, and I've got 3,300 and odd, I think. And this is a track called We're Gonna Get There in the End. So when I got there was 4 copies left, so I just managed to snag one. Something else I picked up from Wax and Beans, my local shop in Bury, was the Buzzcocks. This 10-inch came out a couple of weeks ago. Senses Out of Control, all songs written and performed by Steve Diggle. The Buzzcocks just on the back of a UK tour in March. It does have the Buzzcocks label, which I always love. 3 good tracks. There's a new album coming out later in the year that I'm looking forward to. The B-side, a couple of tracks that won't be on the album, Carnival of Illusion and Hope Heaven Loves You. But well worth checking out. I don't have many 10-inch singles, so please pick this one up. I was in HMV on Bank Holiday Monday, and I was quite surprised to see this in the sale. King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard for $13.99. And this is their album Butterfly 3000 from last year. So this is the 18th studio album by King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard from Melbourne. There's the guys. I was lucky enough to see them live in 2019. You get the lyrics. And I think the reason I didn't pick this up last year is just it gets a little bit too much, you know, so many albums being released by King Gizzard, and I was just wanting to listen to different music really. This comes on yellow vinyl as well. But if I've picked this up last year, it would have certainly made my top 10 albums of the year. It's very, very strong, pretty accessible as well, quite electronic. So yeah, please pick up Butterfly 3000 by King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard. A couple of things from the car boot sale. And I've noticed this year, I don't know, it seems to be getting more and more difficult to find records at a good price at the car boot sales. People seem to be asking crazy prices, or you go and there's just nothing around. But I saw a box of records on a stall at Bolton, and I started flicking through them, and again, the guy just said to me, "Do you make YouTube videos?" And he was called James, and he's actually from Bury. So if you're watching this, James, it was nice to meet you. I chatted with him for a good 15 minutes, just talking about records. And he had this priced at £4, but I paid £3 for it. Vienna by Ultravox. It's a record I've been after for quite a long time. I'm always seeing it, but I always sort of end up picking up something else. But it's just one of those records that from the early 80s. Contains also still Vienna and Sleepwalk, and also Passing Strangers. So good album by Ultravox, and bought it off someone who watches my videos, a guy called James. At the car boot sale, which one was it that this was at? Oh, so there's a new car boot sale started on Saturday mornings, which is really handy. Quite close to Barton Airport, which is a small airport, just sort of on the outskirts of Manchester, just sort of helicopters, etc., light aircraft. So every Saturday there's now a car boot sale there, and I went along there, and every time I go along there I seem to find something. So I found this album for a £5, and it's the Guess Who. And I do not see Guess Who albums. This is called Canned Wheat. When I initially looked at it, I thought it was a Canned Heat album, but I didn't know much about the Guess Who. They're from Canada, sort of a sight band, but it's on Pickwick, but I'm not sure whether this is Camden Pickwick. But this is just sight pop, but it's really good. Really enjoyed it. So I think when I looked up the Guess Who, this was sort of classed as certainly one of their best albums. So for a £5, I was really surprised to actually find it in really good condition. So my first album by the Guess Who. And the same seller sold me this album for £3, and it's Naked by the Talking Heads. So this album's from 1988. I do have quite a few Talking Heads albums, but they tend to, I think I've got them up to Remain in Light. I've got Little Creatures as well. But people always sort of talk about this album as being sort of one of the weakest, if not the weakest album by the Talking Heads. So I'm not sure whether that kind of put me off a little bit. But I think it's a very strong album. There's one track that I'm not too keen on, Mr. Jones, the second track. But all in all, I think it's a very strong album. So for £3, please pick up Naked by the Talking Heads. I went to a record fair in Stockport. Last weekend, they've changed the venue. So I went along and picked up a few things. So I picked up John Cooper Clarke. And this album that I keep forgetting, I think it's called Me and My Big Mouth. It's on Epic. It was released in 1980. And I did see John Cooper Clarke supporting Elvis Costello in '79, but he supported the Sex Pistols, Susie and the Banshees, Joy Division, New Order. He was fantastic when I saw him live. I was only 14 at the time. This contains I Married a Monster from Outer Space, and a song called Twat, Beasley Street's another great track. And he's really influential, John Cooper Clarke. He's released a biography that's supposed to be well worth reading. Like I say, this is his 4th album. Lives in Colchester now, surprisingly. He's 73 years of age, not living in Salford anymore, but lives with his French wife for some reason in Colchester. But yeah, Me and My Big Mouth, the second album that I've got by John Cooper Clarke. Also at the record fair, I saw this album, The Vapors. This one's called Magnets. I think it's from 81. So this contains a single called Jimmy Jones, which should have been a hit single, but it wasn't. And when it came out, I just wasn't really interested in The Vapors, even though I did really like that single. And this has been reissued on clear vinyl. There's a little bit of water damage on here, but it's got the original inner, and it's on Liberty. But this is very strong. If you like The Vapors and you've got Nuclear Days, then this album won't disappoint. It's a very strong album. So Magnets by The Vapors. So I watched a film on Netflix a couple of weeks ago by John Otway. So I think it's called Otway the Movie. So John Otway in 1977 was had a hit with a song called Really Free, and he signed to Polydor, and Polydor gave him an advance of £250,000, which was a lot of money in 1977 when you consider they gave the Jam £6,000. So they had high hopes for John Otway, but his career just stalled and he never really had much success after Really Free. But if you watch that documentary or film on Netflix, John Otway the Movie, you'll love it. It's such a great film, and it sort of got me really into John Otway. So when I saw this at the record fair for a £5, I had to pick it up. Comes on Polydor. The album's called Deep and Meaningless, and I really enjoyed it. I won't spoil the film, but it's well worth watching. And this album is it's really good. I really enjoyed it. So John Otway and Wild Willie Barrett and Deep and Meaningless. Also from the record fair, I picked up a copy of Def Disco on 12-inch by Public Image Limited. This cost me a £5 if I can get in it. So I spoke before, I'm on a bit of a Public Image kick at the moment. So when I saw this for a £5, I was always going to pick it up. I've never actually owned a vinyl copy of the Singular Adventures of the Style Council. So pick this up for a £10. So it's not in chronological order, this, which I quite like. There's a label. 14 tracks. The highlights for me would be Ever Changing Moods, Shout to the Top, Speak Like a Child, and Walls Come Tumbling Down. But it's a really nice compilation, and I do like that jacket. I do like the white look. So the Singular Adventures of the Style Council. And finally, from the record fair, for a £5, Lynyrd Skynyrd and the self-titled debut album. So it was priced at a £10, but the guy was having a sale. So I've got a live album by Lynyrd Skynyrd that I really like, and I thought a £5 for the debut by Lynyrd Skynyrd from '73, I think, was a pretty good pickup. Contains Freebird, but all in all, a really good listen. So Lynyrd Skynyrd debut album from 1973. I do have a couple of cassettes here. I picked up this for £1, Changes One, David Bowie on the RCA. I am playing a lot of cassettes at the moment, and I actually bought something from eBay. I did have a little bit of money in my PayPal account, so this is an album that everybody in the PC, especially in the UK, is showing at the moment, and it's Wet Leg. So I picked it up on cassette for a £10, including postage. Just a little bit different to have it on cassette. I wasn't aware of Wet Leg. Richard McCook did a video talking about them, and I went on YouTube, watched a few videos, you know, and I just thought, you know, where have I been hiding? Not to have sort of got into these two girls from the Isle of Wight, and it's so strong, very sort of accessible. Even my daughter likes them, so I think Chaise Lounge is sort of the radio hit, but yeah, pretty strong. Nice to have it on cassette. Wet Leg, and self-titled debut album. I do have some 7-inch singles to show, mostly I think from the car boot sale, so we'll go through these. Most of them were £1, so I had a bit of a battered copy of Duchess by the Stranglers, so this was quite a nice copy to pick up for £1. I do like the Stray Cats, so a nice picture sleeve there. Stray Cats strut with the B-side, Drink That Bottle Down. The label, I think that's from 81. When Haircut 100, Nick Haywood left the band, or he was kicked out of the band, they made a few records. This is Prime Time, which wasn't a hit. One of the great mysteries why Haircut 100 kicked out Nick Haywood, but when I saw that for £1, I thought I'd pick it up. Manchester band, one of my favourites from the late 80s were the Bodines, and this one, Slip Slide. Nice to have this one on 7-inch single, and the B-side is Naming Names. I got this single for free because I bought some records from a shop in Manchester, and he threw this in for free. I'd never seen this one before. So it's Tracy Young, and this single's called I Can't Leave You Alone. So it's very much like the Style Council back there. He had it priced at £3. It's on Respond Records, and the B-side is what's it called? The Wixom Mix. But like I said, never seen that Tracy 7-inch single. Tracy sung with the Jam on the final single, Beat Surrender, and also on Speak Like a Child. But yeah, that was a really nice find. A band from the very early 80s who I didn't have anything by were B-Movie, and this is a great single called Nowhere Girl. So I think this one was 50p from the car boot sale. Another nice find was the Specials, and this one, Rat Race. So anything on two-tone, I'm all over. And on the flip side, it's Rude Boys Out of Jail. So yeah, Rat Race by the Specials. I do have this, but it was sort of a plastic mould. It's nice to have the original two-tone there. This was 50p from the car boot sale last week. That was a nice one actually. Donna Summer and Love to Love You Baby. On picture sleeve from 1977. And also one of my favourite sort of singles from, I think this is from 82. One I've never had on 7-inch before was Space Age Love Song by A Flock of Seagulls. So on Jive Records. This was a nice find for £1. Picked it up today actually. It's Nick Lowe and Dave Edmonds, and this is Sing the Everly Brothers. So this is from 1980 on FB. Never even knew this existed, and it contains Take a Message to Mary, Crying in the Rain, Poor Jenny, and When Will I Be Loved. I'm taking it that Richard McCook has got that on 7-inch. If you don't, Richard, then I'll send it your way. Also for £1, I found Coldplay, a band that everyone loves to hate, but I actually like them, and this is Violent Hill with A Spell, A Rebel Yell on the flip side. I've never seen this on a picture sleeve, so I picked it up for £1. Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits, their debut single. And also Prince and the track Cream. There seems to be more 7-inch singles at the car boot sales, but not that many albums. Neil Young from his Crazy period. This is Wondering. So nice to have that on a picture sleeve. I don't actually know the song because I don't own that Neil Young album. And finally, for £1, a copy of Silly Thing by the Sex Pistols with the track Who Killed Bambi on the flip side. So, a few things. Been away for a while. Hopefully I'll make a few more videos over the next couple of weeks. If you've got any comments about what I showed, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching and bye for now.